right, everybody, welcome back. We are now in double digits, episode 10, here today with myself, Tim, Fidel, Daniel. Um, just a three-man crew today. No guest appearances. We're ready to run. Definitely have some great stuff to talk about today. And excited to be back for sure. Yeah, so continuing on, of course, please comment, subscribe, like. We always pay attention to whatever comments come through. We appreciate, just even a view. So thank you guys so much for the participation, no matter which form it comes in. And we'll continue to post, these podcasts. We're trying to definitely minimize the length here. Now it's just condensed to three of us. And then also pay attention, we're gonna be sending out a lot of shorts, and we're on all platforms also. So thank you very much as always. And we will lead into our hot topic huddle here with the first topic of something that definitely caught our eyes this past weekend. I feel like the videos were very fun to watch, in my opinion. And I know you guys felt similarly too. But breakdancing in the Olympics. We can discuss, good or bad. Do we think it's gone? And then one specific performer that seemed to have just absolutely stole the show. I don't know if it was for good reason or bad, but definitely entertaining. We'll put it that way. But yeah, breakdancing altogether. How did you guys feel, it went for this first Olympics?
But I'll take it away because I know you
All
have.
right, cool. So
Yeah.
I watched the men's one. They did amazing, man. I think it was the guy from Japan. He was already like eliminated and he just went off just to just to give the audience a show. It was really cool. Yeah, like kind of sucks because I heard they're already like taking it off for LA. It's kind of a bummer. Um and apparently they're also taking off boxing for the LA Olympics, which is kind of like
Really?
yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's kind of dumb if they take out boxing, man. It's like one of like my favorite Olympic sports to watch is the boxing. That's how you learn about like the young up and coming boxers. But yeah. And then definitely get into the our girl there, Raygun from Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Go girl.
definitely put on the show, man. Yeah, like you said, whether good or bad, I guess the it's called the beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
It
But
reminded me of
Yes.
that movie White Chicks when they're like in the club dancing like "Grr, grr."
Yeah.
dude,
You know
I
what I
heard,
mean?
yeah, I heard somewhere say that her dancing reminded them of when dogs roll around on the ground.
Yeah, dude, and I swear,
Oh,
like, I think at one point she went like this, like kind of like to do double oh
yeah.
007 or something.
So
It just looked like
Her signature
Yeah,
right.
Reagan
Ray
pose,
Gun.
bro.
It looked like an yeah, there you go. It looked like an Austin Powers scene where he's just trying to be
Yeah.
like escape everybody, but just be really
Uh,
obvious about it. Yeah, but
uh,
just the comments just oh man, they threw me for a loop. I mean, one of them
right.
said, my 5-year-old when they come up to me and say, "Hey mom, check this out," or "Hey dad, check this
Oh
out."
yeah.
So good. The comments were
Right.
super entertaining.
For me, it was her her comments afterwards. Okay, I get it. She showed up for her country. Didn't show out for her country, but she was saying like, oh, I'm proud of myself. I did my very best, and um, like I was scratching my head, right? Figure Australia has some major cities. I'm sure they have a lot of great break dancers there. So it's kind of slapped to the face to that community. And she may have been the reason why they took it off next year. You know what I mean? Like, really, are we really broadcasting this? Are we really doing this? But I guess her PhD in cultural studies said she could. So
Right.
Yeah, no, that's the crazy thing is that she's a professor, and this is one of the topics she covers, right? Is breakdancing. So I don't maybe now's the time to drop. I don't, get away while you can, but you know, just in general, you know, she's I think at one point, like while the other dancer was performing and she was waiting, she did like that yawning thing, and you know, it just seemed like
Yeah.
like
What?
it was just a prank almost,
Right.
you know. And it was just enjoyable. It was funny to watch for sure. I don't think it sticks
Right.
around next time. But I'd be interested to see what, you know, now it's coming to America, what we might throw in, you
Right.
know.
Felt like the whole world got punked there. Just waiting for Ashton
Yeah,
Kutcher to come out.
right.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly. I
Right.
think you know, people I think a lot of folks were just wondering like, you know, we don't know if this was something that was like popular in Australia to do. And then I read some more comments on a lot of the videos saying like, "Oh, I'm an Australian and I'm wondering the same. Like, am I missing out on something here?"
Right.
So yeah,
I
interesting
know.
stuff.
I know. I also saw that that recap they do with Kevin Hart and Keenan.
Hmm.
And they were talking about her, and they were saying, "No, like Keenan was like, oh, she can you believe she was on that boat in the parade?" And then Kevin's like, "You sure about that? You sure they didn't just ask for an Australian in the audience and pluck her out?"
Yeah.
We need coverage.
Imagine.
Right.
Right.
I'm surprised
Crazy.
Snoop doesn't hasn't done a commentary on that yet.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Right.
I would pay to see that.
Right.
Matt Rife is gonna go off on that sooner or later too.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. No, you know, and hey, you know, if she made it, you know, there's hope for all of us out there, you know.
Mhm.
If there's some type of sport out there that's, you know, looking for amateurs, you know, maybe shout us out. I think one thing that somebody brought up that I read that you know, if it comes back to America, I don't think this would be included as a sport, but they brought like um what is it, freestyle rapping, you know, and just go back and forth with it and throw that in there. But yeah, no, it's kind of funny just to think about what we could add in lieu of breakdancing because like Fidel said, you know, the men did good, but I don't know.
That would
They
be a
should bring.
challenge, a rap, just how PC you'd have to be to be in that. Your
Oh,
mom
true.
smells like glitter on a shitty day. Ugh, you're out. You said the S word, like
Right. That's true. Yeah, national television.
They should
it's
just
gonna be
do
like
a hacky sack.
or it's gonna be like that. If you guys remember back in the day at MTV, the Yo Mama,
Mhm.
with John
Oh
Leguizamo
God.
or whatever.
Yeah.
It was
It's
wasn't it
gonna be like that with the
wasn't
rap
it
battle.
Fez? Wasn't it
I don't
Fez?
remember who it was, man,
Pretty sure it
but
was Fez that was the host.
I
Mhm.
think you're right. Yeah, Fezzy
Mhm.
fell. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's right. But anywho, yeah, you know, entertaining to say the least. You know, but outside of that, you know, shout out US men's basketball, shout out women's track and field, you know, and just all the athletes all together. America, you know, we tied China, I believe, with gold, and broke that tiebreaker with silvers and medals all together. So, athletes really kick butt. I mean, phenomenal job as always. And one thing though, I'm a little nervous about men's swimming, kind of kind of slipping these days. So, you know, we'll see if we get Michael Phelps, you know, if one of his kids wants to join, you know, get going there. Let's get the genes.
you need to breed. Have Ledecky and Michael Phelps have kids or something, man. Because
Yeah.
yeah,
God,
Some of
it'd
them
be
have
like super soldiers.
have them have a bunch of test tube babies, man.
Right.
That way they can take all the good genes, only.
There you go. Yep.
Mhm.
Two of our greatest Olympians right there. But yeah, you know, shout out, you know, USA there. And yeah, I think that concludes you know, that topic. Another thing that we wanted to for sure touch base on was all of the announcements surrounding Disney and D23 over this past week. Lots of awesome things, you know, those of us that have children or not, you know, there's plenty of things for, you know, adults also, or throwback childhood movies that are going to be getting some sequels here. And you know, Fidel also mentioned some rides coming up too, that you know we noticed too. So that's going to be awesome also. But you know, just right off the bat, I wanted to name a few. Um, movies that are going to get some sequels coming up, and it's going to be Moana 2. There's going to be a Stitch live action. That'll be interesting to see, how Stitch comes about live action. They're going to have an Incredibles 3, which is going to be super sick. Toy Story 5. The last one left off seeming like that was going to be it, so I'm interested to see how they can continue on. Frozen 3, Zootopia 3 already, or is that 2? I didn't know
I
there
think
was a
it's two.
Zootopia. Yeah, okay. Number 2, and then the last one, I'm sure there's more I'm missing, of course, but Star Wars Skeleton Crew as well. Looks to be cool. I'm always thrilled to see, any new Star Wars stuff. I'm a geek for it. So, but yeah, certainly wanted to get your guys' thoughts on, what you guys might have seen.
So from what I heard, the Toy Story 5 is that the toys are going to be competing with the technology. And so
Mhm.
how the toys are being affected in the room due to like the iPads, nowadays we have what the iPad kids and all that fun stuff, right? And so they're saying, oh, now the toys are going to compete with the technology to see if they can get them to get played with again and whatnot. So that'll be really cool to see and see how they play that part out. I'm like, damn, when they said, oh, technology is taking over kids and, toys are becoming a thing of the past, not necessarily like completely, right? But, technology is being used more. How are they going to bring them back? So,
Yeah. No, I agree. I feel like at times that could seem kind of depressing.
yeah, I
If a
know.
kid's just
I'm
like
over
glued to
here
a
sad
tablet.
just speaking on it. I'm like,
Yeah,
you hear my
I
tone of voice
know.
just go.
I swear the sorrow kicked in. But sorry for interrupting. Go ahead, Fidel.
No, I was just gonna say, out of all those movies, I'm probably most excited to see Incredibles 3. Love both of
Hmm.
the first ones. And
Yes.
Zootopia too.
Zootopia is always good. Yeah.
I love the
Hmm.
first one, definitely. Hmm.
Yeah, it's a fun
I had
movie
that
for
on
sure.
repeat at my house for like ever when that came out because my oldest was into that. And we'll see how he is. The Incredibles, though, I think that's on our time, kind of, right? Like, or right there. So, I mean,
Certainly. Yeah.
seeing what they do with it now, it's like,
Hmm.
Yeah, it took forever to get number 2 to come out, so it's nice to see at least it's a little bit quicker getting a third.
Yeah.
Because it was a super long wait to get, just that second
mhm.
one. But yeah, no, love to see it. And then, continuing on that, they're gonna do more live action films. I think that they just casted the Moana live action also, so that's gonna be really fun to watch too. I kind of like how they do that, the way that they did like Lion King, for example. I know it's not like super live action, but they did a really good job regarding it. I have no doubts in Pixar or Disney altogether.
Maybe I'm old school, but it's really hard for me to get like into the live action.
Hmm.
Like you said, Lion King, all right, cool, because it was just kind of, but with like Little Mermaid, it's a great childhood movie, that we all grew
Hmm.
up on. And I was just like really trying to get into it, but I was just like, it's missing the element of I don't know, it just feels different, Maybe it's something I just need to get used to, but for me, it was just like, oh, after I finished watching that, I was like, no, I gotta watch the original one to like forget this one because it didn't sit too well with me. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the human aspect. I like the cartoon, or make him maybe if they can make him a little bit more cartoonish,
Hmm.
but then that will kind of take it away from the live action. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
mixed emotions. I'm depressed. That's it.
I, no,
Toy
I feel
Story
you on the
depressed
live
me.
actions, bro. I feel you on the live action. No, I haven't
Mhm.
been a big fan of any of the ones that have come out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. Maybe it's tough because certain characters, are really tough to put into a live action. You're actually a step ahead of me, Daniel, because I never even watched the live action Little Mermaid. I just referenced The Lion King, but Stitch live action, kind of like how I previously mentioned, it's going to be interesting to see how they get Stitch into that. But hopefully it's good and it doesn't necessarily look like they're talking to just a green screen the whole time and make it really obvious. But I feel like they do a good job blending it. Their filming
They
tactic.
definitely, yeah, and they were great actors too. Like, don't get me wrong, like
Mhm.
they they nailed every single part of the movie. It was just hard for me to like. Maybe I'm just like old school minded. Like it was hard for me to like go from cartoon to like live person. Like that transition for me is just hard.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, I guess going back, like what they did 101 Dalmatians back in the day, the Peter Pan with, or Hook with Robin Williams back in the
Oh
day.
yeah,
Some of them are classics, but I definitely see what you guys are saying. It's a tough thing, going from a cartoon to that. But yeah, no, lots of cool stuff. I don't know how much you read into it, Fidel, but I know you mentioned the rides that are going to be coming up.
Yeah.
If you want to.
Apparently, like all the Disneyland parks over the world are going to get like new attractions. I just wrote here down a couple that kind of caught my interest as far as in the U.S. and Disney World, California Adventure, and Disneyland. Apparently, in Disney World, they're going to get a Villains Land.
yeah, I saw that.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
that's gonna have like two attractions, and they're supposed to be doing like a what's called a nightmare parade with all the villains.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that seems
I
pretty
like
cool.
that.
And
Yeah.
they're also supposed to do like a big expand thing for like a Cars Land out there or a Cars inspired world out there. So yeah, they're gonna do that. They're gonna have like a two rides, and one of them is supposed to be like an off road type ride for
Nice.
Disney World. Yeah, and then California Adventure, they're doing the Avatar world. Then they're gonna expand the what's it called the Avengers campus. They're doing two new rides, something called like Stark's Flight Lab, and then they're doing
Oh,
let me see what it is Avengers Infinity Defense. So it's going to be two new rides.
very cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and
then
Also
I
then
doing
think
a
they're doing
Monsters Inc.
Coco.
expansion too.
Yeah, they are. They're doing Coco.
oh
I think
nice.
in Disney World's doing Coco attraction, and they're adding Tiana's Bayou Adventure from was it the Frog and the Prince or something? I forget what the movie's called.
Yeah,
The
I
Yeah,
Frog
think
and the
those
Princess.
that's what's taken over the old
Mhm.
Splash Mountain as
Yes,
well at Disney.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
So that's cool.
definitely, definitely
the
excited for that
Princess and the Frog.
Coco one.
Is
Yeah,
it
there
that
you go,
one?
the Princess and the
There
Frog.
you
Yeah,
go.
definitely excited for the Coco one. That's probably gonna be one of my. I'm not a big amusement park person because I don't like being around that many like
Sure.
thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah.
I'm a bigger guy. I don't like to be that tightly compacted with that many people next to me. You know,
Yeah, no doubt. A lot of standing.
I feel like I have to push people out of my way just to take a step. But yeah, I'll definitely go for that Coco and like that Avatar stuff for sure. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, me for one, th this is definitely cueing me to go back and watch Avatar. I saw it
Mhm.
once, but it's been years, and
Mhm.
I mean, just the amount of, money that film grossed, and then also
Mhm.
the attention it garnered, certainly is worth going back and watching. And then hey, shout out Matt Damon. Recently, I listened to an interview by him. He said Avatar was the greatest role he ever turned down. So I can't imagine the amount of money that he could have earned. Not like he needs it. I mean, he's
Mhm.
doing great. But overall, yeah, no, cues me to go back and maybe watch quite a few of these before the new one comes out. So it's good stuff. But yeah, certainly you just wanted to hit that up. It's a big deal. It's cool to see as well. It's stuff to get excited for. But as always, oftentimes we talk about cards here. Just before we jumped on to start the pod here, we were discussing some cards, some, different things that we got. But Topps recently has announced, I guess, a slew of new, branding of cards, some new boxes that are being released, and then also a one of one slab card, which evidently is going to be released in, I guess maybe a blaster box or some type of box that's being released. That's going to have a LeBron signature, a Kevin Durant signature, and a Steph Curry signature. So you can only imagine how much freaking money that's going to go for.
That's gonna be
And
the Team USA card.
yes, super sick. Looks so cool. But yeah, props to whoever is able to be lucky enough to get that. And then briefly mentioning the Cactus Jack edition cards that are coming out. Cactus Jack always seems to get, a ton of attention. I know with their Nike collab, it's a very sought after, item to get. So just wanted to get your guys' thoughts. I don't know if there's anything else that maybe I'm missing or, thoughts about new releases and branding of Topps cards or cards in general.
I just bought some was it Topps Finest baseball cards? Really nice looking cards. They're very colorful, have a lot of different like what's it called? Variants that you can get. It's really nice, good quality cards. Yeah. Very colorful, they stand out. They like pop a lot.
I've been buying a few of the Topps, the 23-24 soccer, the Euro soccer ones that came out. Bought a few booster packs of those. Pretty cool. I got a Yamal rookie card out of one of those, but it was way off centered, unfortunately. So, it's just one of those, like, put it in the sleeve and put it away, and cool card to look at later on, and he's 16, so I'm pretty sure he's going to have other bangers that come out. But no, man, if that card was like perfectly centered, if it would have gone graded to 10, it would have been like 160. I think that was like 3 weeks ago when I checked. So, I mean, it may have changed between now and then, but no, that's a cool series to break too. Fun series, especially if you like Euro soccer. I know, Tim, that's your favorite.
Oh, yeah. Live and breathe, just yeah, soccer in general, absolutely.
Speaking
Where's
of
Richie when you need him?
Right,
exactly.
Mr. Mr. Europe himself, huh?
Shout out Richie. You're in Europe too right now. I hope you're having a blast, brother.
Yes, sir.
Living
Yes,
his
we
best
are.
life. Yeah, jealous.
Definitely. Yeah, speaking of European soccer, most of the leagues are going to start up this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I know the EPL is the first game is Friday at noon. Forget who it is, but I think it's Manchester United versus Fulham, if I'm not mistaken. But it's this Friday at noon is the first game. Then you get a bunch of games Sunday and Saturday and Sunday. Only thing that's like miserable about watching the league is that some of the games are like at 4:30 a.m. So you want to watch it live, you got to be up early. If not, just record it.
Yeah, or highlights. I usually do the highlights.
Yeah, I usually just record it if it's that early and watch it. Don't even look at my phone until after I watch the game.
I'll spoil it for you. I'll send you a text.
Nah, I'll just turn my phone. I'll turn my phone off.
No, that's smart. I actually have a buddy, my buddy Esteban from the Fire Academy. Shout out Esteban. He, I think, follows a English soccer team, and he goes to, I think it's Crown and Anchor off of Teal Boulevard. Is that still around? I don't even know if it's still
That's
there.
still around.
Okay. Yeah, I
Over on
guess they
Skyline,
open
yeah.
early. They open early for some Premier League soccer matches, and they'll go in there, and it's a group of really, really avid fans, and they will just pour pints and start drinking at 4 or 5 in the morning and just watch the match. And it seems really enjoyable if you're super into it and you have the time to wake up that early and have some pints. Sounds like a great time. So people get into it.
My buddy that used to bartend at Brent's Deli, where I used to work, was a bartender there, and he's like, dude, these guys are opening tomorrow. Workers have to be there at 4 a.m. because bright and early they're gonna turn on TVs, and he's like, it gets packed.
That's crazy. They're just like the only people awake.
We should check it out one of these weekends.
Let me know how it is. 4:30 a.m. man, it's too early.
Yeah, let me know.
No. We'll go for the 6 a.m. game.
There you go.
Vlog
vlog mission.
That's fine. I'll skip the gym that day.
Let's do it on a weekday before work. Why not? But yeah,
I'm not trying to get fired.
Yeah, no, definitely not. But yeah, no, people are definitely get into it, at all hours, no doubt. But it's cool to hear that, more sports are, beginning seasons. Football obviously is one of those, and July can be awfully boring. Luckily, we had some Olympics to get us by this year, so that was really cool. But yeah, moving right along, that really covers our main topics that we wanted to cover today in the hot topic huddle category. But now we're going to move into our say what category where we just love to rank things. So we came up with the idea of we're going to start with the NFL today. But we are going to have our top 3 jersey rankings. And this is any jersey in existence that you think meets your top 3 criteria. And then we'll just go through a rotation here, naming it off. And, if you guys want to give like a brief reason as to why you chose it or, how long you've thought those are sick jerseys. So, yeah, if one of you guys wants to start away, we could just do a little rotation.
Take it
Yeah,
away,
I can,
Fidel.
yeah, I can start. For me, my number 3 would be the Kelly Green Eagles jerseys. Those things are just really, really nice. They stand out. The shade of green is really beautiful. Love it, especially when they wear them nowadays. Definitely a really clean looking jersey.
It's a great jersey.
Mhm.
You go for it, Danny.
All right, and then for me, it's the throwback Tennessee Titans going back to the Oilers jerseys.
Mhm.
I gotta say that's my number 3, man. I love the logo, man. Just I don't know, something about it just gives me like man's man sport, like just you think of Oiler people working oil rigs, just boom, America.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
brother.
that's that's my that's my jersey for number 3, the Oilers.
God, you stole you stole one of mine. That's a great jersey. Love that jersey, man. That's a really solid choice. But for number 3, I'm gonna go with the Creamsicles Bucks jersey. That orange, it's just different. I think they haven't brought it back for a minute, but I think that they're going to bring it back this year for a game from what I've heard. I don't know if you guys have heard anything about that, but I think they tried last year, and if I'm not mistaken, they weren't able to. So this is the year. I guess you have to give enough advance notice about it to the NFL in order to get it going, but they're gonna bring it back this year. So super stoked to see that. And then excuse the noise, my little baby girl's escaping. What a cutie.
It's okay.
Sorry. I'll see her in a second. And then for number 2, this is where I was going to go with the Oilers, but now I'm going to think of something else on the fly because I definitely want to. And I think I'm going to go with just that classic lime greenish color of the Miami Dolphins, throwback maybe Dan Marino days. Just a classic jersey, super sick. Love the green and orange. I know that, we have neon colors for our logo. So, just it's just a cool vibe. So I'll go with Dolphins throwbacks, kind of similar to today.
Right. My number 2 would be the old school Chargers powder blue jerseys. Being a Charger
Okay.
fan, definitely super nice jerseys. Reminds me of all the games back in San Diego when they were there, because they would be just a one-off back then when it was in San Diego, at least during the LT times, because then they wore the navy, and when they pop up the throwback powder blues, it'd be probably one of the best looking uniforms in the league.
For me, it's gonna be, of course, the Dallas Cowboys throwback jersey, the legacy one. It just can't go wrong with it, man. Clean. Again, screams America. That's Troy Aikman days, right? Troy Aikman days when we truly were America's team. I bring back those great times with the Cowboys, and so I'm going with that for my number 2.
The only reason I really don't like those is because those were the Pop Warner jerseys for out here in TO. Because we were the TO Cowboys back in the
day. Weren't they the villain team in that one the Little Giants or whatever?
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
yeah.
with Spike.
Yeah, man.
With
Yeah,
Al
Spike.
Bundy as the coach.
Yep. Great movie. Shout out Little
Yes.
Giants. Um, so my number one, I didn't want to do this, but I did. Just gotta go Niners. Their scarlet red jerseys. They wear them kind of as an alternate, I guess you could kind of say these days. They're the red jersey with the white numbers, but the black outline around them. It looks like almost like a throwback jersey, but maybe kind of in, collaboration with them. But just a super clean jersey, the classic red. It's just with all the Super Bowls we've won, it's such a classic, you guys just give me the straight face, like shut up. And then if I can, I want to do an honorary mention, and I am gonna go shout out a Rivals jersey, but
Don't do it.
I I'm gonna do it.
Do it after everyone does their top one.
Oh yeah,
Number
yeah,
one.
yeah. Okay, my
Uh,
bad. Yeah.
yeah.
I'll do
Because
Fidel
it.
said, "Shut up."
Because then I could steal it.
Because I think
Yes.
you were going to steal mine.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If I am thinking correctly, you were going to go with the blue Seahawk jerseys.
Ah, you nailed it.
Bro,
Yep,
those,
you got it,
no,
good.
that's
those two things
fine.
are amazing, dude. Those
Yes,
things
they are.
so clean from back in the Steve Largent days.
Yes.
I was just gonna say I have the large white one, and I was
Oh
gonna
yeah.
say mine was gonna be the white and the blue, but freaking Fidel. So I'll go with the
on, man.
white one.
Come on,
There you
that
go.
blue one's a classic, man.
I know, but he took the freaking blue. You suck.
Why do you think? Why do you think I stopped Tim?
Yeah, I'm glad you did. Yeah, I shouldn't have gotten
Right?
honorary mention so soon. But great jersey. Yeah,
Mhm.
really, really good jersey.
I have I have Largent's white jersey sign on the Eminem replica.
Nice.
Sick,
Mhm.
dude. Yeah.
That's a solid jersey.
That
I'm definitely one to like those like kind of like eye-popping jerseys like the creamsicle, like
Mhm.
the green Eagles jersey that Fidel mentioned. I know that the Seahawks have a lime green jersey. I'm all for it. I think they look super sick. I'm a big advocate for those.
Mhm.
I was chasing this helmet for a while, then I gave up on it. But one DK Metcalf has a sick auto. But
Mm.
I was chasing a helmet. It was a lunar helmet with the neon, as you mentioned. And then I was also chasing that neon jersey that they have with this auto. Uh, Never won it, but hey, you know what? Whatever. Win some, you lose some. But yeah, that those neons are always sick.
Hmm.
Definitely. Now, if you guys have honorable mentions, you can think of throw them out. I have one. Mhm.
Go for
I
it.
can think of.
Go for it.
For me, it would be those the red Falcons jerseys from back in like the
Oh
90s, I think.
yeah,
Those things are
Hmm.
awesome. Hmm.
that is a really sick jersey.
Mhm.
Even the one you're wearing right now, Fidel, the throwback
Yeah.
Chargers. I mean, that's a
Hmm.
classic.
It is.
LT
They
days.
suppose that rumor was that they were maybe next year they're gonna go back to that look for like the how you guys said earlier that they can wear like a throwback jersey. They have
Hmm.
rumors they're going to go with the old school navy blue San Diego Charger jersey, and they're going to go with the navy blue helmet, just like back in those LT days.
I really like the navy blue
Mhm.
helmet. The
Mhm.
Winslow days. I believe
Mhm.
he rocked that one, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
I really like the got another rival, the throwback Rams and their helmets.
Mhm.
Super sick jerseys. I know they bring them back maybe once a year also, but really, really cool jerseys. I like those a lot.
The
And
navy
then
ones.
no, like the yellow and kind of like brighter blue, lighter
Like
Okay,
blue.
the
okay.
like the old school when they were first like out here in LA, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, correct.
Hmm.
Yeah, more 80s, right? 70s, 80s.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, super sick jerseys. I like the traditional Vikings too, back in the Randy Moss days, just that color
Oh
purple, it
yeah.
stands out a lot. It stands out a lot. Shout out Richie, big
Right.
diehard fan over there. Maybe he's stoked on JJ McCarthy's performance. We'll see. Um,
Right.
but yeah, no, those are cool jerseys too.
Yeah. And another solid one is those red throwback Patriot jerseys.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, those are pretty sick too. Mhm.
Yeah, definitely.
Even the TO freaking rival one Niners. the white
Oh
with
yeah.
the red, and then it has like the white stripe in it. If I'm thinking of it correctly, Tim, you know more than I do, but it's the white jersey with the red, the logo, and then the numbers. Teal I think was 88 or 81, right?
Yeah, 81.
81, and then because I saw it this weekend too, at the expo, and that has the white outline in it, and then the red outside to
Hmm.
kind of like make it pop. Sick jersey.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's like a classic 90s Niners
Hmm.
jersey for sure. Yeah. You know, in some of our lousiest performing days, we had some really great jerseys too. We kind of brought out like that different color of the gold. And that was a really cool jersey back in the day, kind of like the Jeff Garcia days. Those are cool jerseys. Um but yeah, man, I'm glad we were able to rank those. Certainly, I think looking forward, we're gonna try to dabble into some other sports. I feel like, as you can see, we can just keep naming off a bunch of jerseys. Sounds like ones that we want to buy also. So,
Yep.
yeah. But yeah, moving right along, that covers our say what category. Always fun. Next is banter hour. It's always a pretty big topic for us. I feel like we've been kind of mellow this past week, though. I think that we've all had some busy days with work, that we have lost sight of talking that SHIT. But now that football season's starting, I don't know if there's anything you guys want to nitpick right now, throw out there. Doesn't even have to be with us. Could just be, we
Right.
could pick on John if we wanted, say the Ravens suck.
I don't think the show
Shout
has
out
to
to the
do.
jerk that ripped me off at the expo.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to do a small synopsis of that.
Mhm.
So a shop out in Camarillo, super cool shop. They did absolutely nothing wrong. Let me make that crystal clear. They threw an event at the Camarillo High School. They invited some vendors so people would fill in the spaces, right? There's a vendor there who was selling a personal collection to offload, allegedly. I ended up buying $150 worth of product. It was a resealed box, resealed booster packs of Pokemon cards. Very disappointed. I think 14 out of the 16 packs in one of the bigger boxes that I bought had damaged hollows, damaged cards. The corners were all jacked up. Some corners looked like they were clipped. Um, and even my wife was like, "What the heck?" Because I always show her the cards that I'm gonna grade. I'm like, "Oh, look at this one. This one looks legit." And that specific was the Charizard UPC box, and the Charizard the one it comes with is worth about $80 if it's a grade 10. You know, granted that it was centered perfectly, everything was good, but you look at the corners are all damaged. And so I was like, all right, well, it's just the promo card, whatever. But as soon as I started opening the packs, the top was really thin, the bottom was really thin. I'm like, red flag. So I opened it all up. Packages were ripped. The dice package was ripped. The coins were out of their sleeves. The sleeve pack was slightly open. Like it was just horrible. I did reach out to the shop in Camarillo, a more collectibles shop. I was like, hey, just want to give you an FYI on the side. Um, one of your vendors there was selling resealed product. Nothing to do with you guys, absolutely not. I just want to make you guys aware. They're like, do you want us to investigate this? Like, what's going on? I'm like, no, I just want to make you guys aware. I was only $150. I'll take my losses. It is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and worry about $150. It's not worth the white hairs on my head. I was like, but I just want to make you aware. This is how the guy looked like, where he was about, and just so that you guys don't invite him for the next time around because he is screwing people over. So they were very receptive and they're very cool about it. So, but I hope that guy needed that money, and I hope it helps you, man. But honestly, disappointed in you.
No
Screw
kidding.
that
Ruins.
guy.
Yeah. No, get that banter out of the way. I mean, geez. And what a huge bummer. You have kids, Danny, and if it's a pack you guys are opening up, together or whatever it may be, even if it's just yourself, it just ruins the hobby. It's really disappointing. I mean, if
Oh, yeah.
if you lose out on a pack, I get it's not really quote unquote half the fun, but it's half the battle, of just continuing on the search of finding that gem, that diamond in the rough. And, to see a repack, pack of cards is just so lousy.
And it was
Yeah.
funny because my kid called it out because he opened his box first.
Oh,
And he was
wow.
like, he's like, Dad, this package isn't opening like the other ones.
Oh,
And I said,
no.
what do you mean? I'm like, you're crazy. And so I was like, bring it to the table. And he brings it. And you can tell the top, it was like, melted differently. It wasn't sealed like the original packs. And I was
Mhm.
like, yeah. And my wife goes, maybe you're being paranoid. I'm like, no, look, I had an unopened booster pack that we had bought the other day. And I said, look, and I pull it out and I said, look at the difference. And she's just like, oh my gosh. I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, and then you feel the cards are very rough. He's just like, and like you said, he was just like, oh. And he
Yeah.
goes, oh look, and then he turns it around because he's pretty good about like checking the corners and like checking the centering. He's just like, no, it's probably gonna be like a 4 or 5 if we grade it. No, and like every booster pack, I was just like,
Educated
oh
on it. Yeah.
yeah, and I was just like,
Dang.
oh man. But you know what? Again, you win some, you lose some, take it to the
Yeah.
chin like a man, and you move on.
Well, you're a good man for it. You didn't go full Kevin mode over there and
I
just
did say if I
get
see him
so
next time, next time they have an expo and he's there, I'm
yep.
gonna call him out on his bluff. And I
As
say,
you should.
open a box here, show me that you're real. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna have the people that are running the show watching him open those boxes.
Yeah.
And if they're
No.
legit, I'll buy them off of him. But because he did break them. But I'm gonna call him out on that shit.
He'll probably have one legit box there, and then
Now
you
I'm
call
gonna
him out.
pick
He'll
one.
get that box.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
You
pick one.
should do some public shaming like they did with those guys that put weights in the fish and they're like, weights. And then you should be like, fraud. Yell at him and just point at him and just yell shame.
He's gonna
Shame,
he's gonna be
shame,
like that guy
shame.
in what's it called, the Family Guy, where he calls Peter a phony. It's like, this guy's a phony, a big
Yeah.
fat phony.
Yeah. Yep. Just bring out a whistle and just yell
Right.
at him, berate him. But
Uh,
yeah, no, super lousy. Sorry you had that experience, Danny. But it does sound like, you made some good sales with some memorabilia you had at least that is legit. So good for you. I'm happy to hear that. At least that kind of restores a little bit of
Yeah,
your
shout
faith
out
in
Frank
things.
the
And
Tank. If you guys are on Instagram, Frank Frank the Tank runs his own little shop. Uh,
nice.
really modest guy. I did a couple of deals with him. Um, we traded. I traded a Warren Sapp authentic helmet. There's some monetary and Deion Sanders jersey, which is super legit. I'm a Cowboys fan, baby. So, uh, I'm just gonna get that bad boy framed. And my wife was like, "Are you looking for the money or are you looking for the jersey?" And I was like, "I'm looking for both because this helmet's worth a lot more." But no, made that deal. Also did a deal with I had an Xavier Howard mini helmet that
Oh,
was
nice.
signed, and also a Wes Welker Texas Tech helmet that was signed. We did a trade for that as well, and a Pouncy Gators custom jersey. And I traded my contenders patch card that I told you guys about with CJ no, yeah, CJ Stroud and Richardson. So, got some monetary funds off of that and a Dak Prescott numbered card from college. Yeah, no.
Damn.
Shout out Frank the Tank, man. We wheeled and dealed for a cool minute, but we got everything right, and you know, wish him success.
Frank the Tank and Danny Deals.
Right.
Dang, what a
Yeah.
collab that is.
When you said Frank the Tank, I thought you meant Frank the Tank from freaking
Barstool?
Barstool. I was like,
Yeah.
okay. I'm like, you meant Frank the
Imagine.
Tank, and you didn't ask him to be on the pod. I'm like, that's a strike
Sure,
two.
you know what? It would be a
Right.
damn
Yeah.
sh it
Put a
would be a
Tongi
damn
2.0.
shame if it was him.
Uh,
And let's see.
I don't think it's him because he lives out in what, New York?
New York, yeah. New York,
Yeah.
Jersey, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
ain't
no,
no
it
way.
wasn't him. But
Yeah, he
still,
does. Looks up a quick photo. Definitely
I
not
just
him. All
looked him
right.
up right now, man. Yeah, I was just like,
You're
no,
like,
but really, really cool guy. Yeah,
Legit.
man.
Yeah, no, it's fun. No, that's cool to hear about, regardless that you're getting out and attending those events. I certainly want to look for some up here. Maybe I could take my son to them or, wife and daughter, of course. But, it's really cool. There's a lot of cool stuff and everybody has their own little piece of history there. So that's awesome.
And
But yeah, no.
shout out to More Collectibles Shop for putting that event. And they're also, I highly recommend you taking your kids to events like that. These shows have a lot of vendors that love kids, man. And drawing them to these types of events. One, it keeps them away from trouble. Gets them to a
Mhm.
hobby that's expensive, but definitely a positive hobby. You learn about sports. You build community. Yeah, and they were giving out like holo cards and whatnot to everybody. So shout out to them. Shout out CB Sports Cards. I saw Jake from the shop out there too. He had his own little booth set up. Stopped by, said what's up. But yeah, no. Sorry, man. I know I cut you off there.
No, no, it's perfect shout out. Love to hear it. You're exactly right. It's a good way it's a great hobby to kind of get involved with. That's why, even recently I hadn't done it since I was a kid, but starting up the collection to, introduce to the kiddos, it's important, it's fun, it's a good hobby, it's, healthy, safe. Nothing wrong with it. So, but good deal. But yeah, that's it for banter hour there. Thank you so much for having a great story to share there. Well, not a great story, but something to get off your chest, which is great. So that's exactly what this is there for.
Feel
So
better now. That's it.
yes. No, I hope you do. No, that's great.
I'm gonna go to sleep and
And
touch my pillow now.
just envision that guy's face and just started giving roundhouses. Pow. Um, and yeah, so moving on to our fantasy hour. We've certainly gone through ranked, pretty much every position and something that we kind of wanted to fill up here with the last hours now that we have, technically, I guess a couple weeks worth, but technically almost first week of preseason for the NFL. Just definitely want to do like a quick little roundtable, see if there's like any, whether it's a rookie, whether it's, somebody trying to make a team and had a crazy performance, anybody that you guys are looking at fantasy wise, did anybody change your mind? Or maybe prove that, hey, yeah, that guy is legit. I like what he's looking like. But yeah, I wanted to get your guys' thoughts.
JJ McCarthy. He did stand out. He did do good. And kind of put my foot in my mouth before all this started, where I was like, he's a rookie, or but no, he did really well.
Mhm.
So take back anything negative that I said about him. Not necessarily negative, but my perspective. Sometimes our perspectives aren't always accurate, and so hard pill to swallow sometimes. But I'll take it to jest. JJ
Daniel was
McCarthy is a
really
stud.
harsh on him. Yeah, dude, you were such a jerk about JJ McCarthy. No, I'm
Not too bad.
kidding. No, I'm joking. Yeah.
You know what though? That
No,
kid's
it
gonna do
was
good, man.
Yeah.
Richie,
yeah.
again, have fun in Europe, but you're probably happy with what you're reading.
Yeah.
For me, one that kind of like reinforced what I already believed about him was Jaden Daniels. He was only in there for like a series or so, but he looked
Mhm.
good. Has that running ability. Definitely will help out in fantasy.
Absolutely. Yeah, a couple that caught my eye. One, I guess, is a little bit more obvious with Caleb Williams. I felt like he kind of lived up to, a lot of why he got drafted first overall. Just looked different. I think, he looks super solid, kind of just a fun player to just watch in general,
Mhm.
fan or not of that team. And then second was who, I'll make this prediction now. I think he's going to start for him. I think Joe Milton is going to start for the Pats. I think he's lively. I think the teammate reactions he gets to a lot of his plays and just, this, I guess the attention he garners on the sideline. Drake May really hasn't had that great of a performance in the preseason and training camp. And Bailey Zappi is just plateaued, stagnant,
Third
kind
string
of
at this
see
point.
exactly. I think so too. But I think Joe Milton has honestly a great shot. He's mobile. He has a heck of an arm. Not a great team, but I think he's a dark horse starter there. And if he does start, he would shoot up my draft board, no doubt.
You know what I
Because
think
of
it is, dude? And because I agree with you 110%.
Mhm.
When you get put in a situation like that where it's like we're gonna compete for this job, you know, some people have the grit in them, and grit. Pull that up in the urban, dictionary. Now I would say Urban Dictionary, but pull that up in the dictionary. Joe Milton's gonna show up right there. And I feel like he has a lot of composure. He's very disciplined. He knows what he wants, right? And no disrespect to the high draft picks or whatnot, right? But in all reality, you get picked that high, your confidence is at a different level, your mindset's at a different level. Well, I already got this type. But Joe Milton came in, he's like, nothing's for sure. I'm gonna do my best, and look at him now.
No doubt. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Grit's a great way to put it. Even
Great.
even a guy like Spencer Rattler looked good.
Mhm.
And Derek Carr gets hurt or he's just not playing well. I mean, hey,
Mhm.
let's throw that guy in. It's not like that team. I don't know. It's a pretty lousy division, but they take a shot. There's always a chance.
I know I saw some a TikTok video where they were saying they were showing like Saints fans comments, and there was one of them said take out Spencer Rattler and put Carr back in. We can't risk Rattler getting injured.
I saw
Right.
something like that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Huh. And then
Yep.
and then speaking of great Danny, shout out, might be a little bit late, but shout out to part of my take guys. That whole grit week they did last week was
Yes.
was great. Especially that Jim Harbaugh interview was my favorite one.
You watched that one,
Yeah, I
Fidel?
did. It was
It
it
was
was
a good
great.
one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I agree. They had some really good interviews.
Mhm.
They had Sean McVay on last week.
Mhm.
And then today I was like, because I'll throw it on, while I'm working, and just have it in my ear playing. They had Matt Stafford on today, and just the way that they go about their interviews is really fun because it's a different aspect. They get these guys super loose, they're cussing, they're having a great time. I love that form of interview.
Hey, speaking of that interview, shout out Jake Felt. If you saw the whole interview,
Oh, yes. Yeah.
but
Dude's a stud.
best arm on that baseball team that included Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah. Unnamed Clayton Kershaw, right? They were
Right?
Stafford dodged
That
that
was
name.
hilarious, dude.
Yeah. Jake Felt. No, what a stud.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure if he was listening, that dude's just fist pump in the air. But he'd be so stoked. But yeah, no, what he set a state record for touchdowns in a game, something like that, right?
Yeah, something that was like 5
Like just,
touchdowns.
oh, dude, yeah, what a stud. Jake
In the
Felt. It's a great
state
shout out.
final. Mhm.
Yes. Great shout out. You gotta watch that, Danny. If you
Yeah.
haven't, part of my take. It's a great pod. Great
I,
pod.
got- I gotta, yeah, I gotta get on it. I'll probably do it tomorrow when I'm like running reports or something.
Mhm.
Hell yeah.
I said
It's enjoyable.
I want to watch that one where they go surfing. They did last week for a great week. I still haven't checked that out.
Uh-huh. I think they
'Cause
did wakeboarding in Tahoe
yeah,
too.
right. Because apparently one of their interns uh said he says he doesn't know if he can swim or not, but he hasn't drowned yet. So
Oh yeah. Huey, right?
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure they got life vests and everything else in
Mhm.
between.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Shout out part of my take.
Mhm.
In me personally, speaking of just podcasts in general, I've been a big listener of the Dan Patrick Show for many, many years. Them, and then recently over the past year with part of my take, it just made me so much more excited to start up a podcast, especially with my great friends like you guys. And it's really, really interesting to listen to them and kind of bring some of their aspects into, what we can do here. But I feel like, they might not even be meaning to play like an educational piece. I know Dan Patrick probably is more on that end because he has his own pod or like announcing school. But
Mhm.
it's just it's not only fun to listen to, but it's great to take little bits and pieces out of that also. But it's a great listen. Really, really good. It's fun. But yeah, shout out Grit Wheat. I'm glad you brought up that word and glad you brought up those podcasts, Fido.
Mhm.
But yeah, good stuff, guys. Yeah, I mean that really brings us to the end here. I don't know if there's any final announcements from Danny Fidel. If there's anything that's been on your mind, want to get off your mind, foreshadow for next week. Um, Hopefully John's back soon. We're always thinking of him. Um,
Think about your
Hopefully,
future, boys. Foreshadowing.
Right.
yeah, there you go.
All I'll say is get ready for the fantasy league draft, boys. It's coming. It'll be
Ooh.
here
Yes,
in
sir.
what 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that.
Yeah,
Two and a
like
half
2.5.
weeks.
2.5,
Yeah,
yeah.
coming
Mhm.
up quickly. Yeah,
August
God.
31st is our big draft, right?
Yeah, big draft for the
Yep,
14-team league.
yep.
I have
That'll be a fun
another
one.
14 team league that's drafting on September 2nd at 4. So that's gonna
Ooh.
get tough too.
Mhm.
Yeah, 14 teams are that's a whole different ball game. And then that's why, we're certainly gonna still planning on having our 4 team league here on the pod, but that's why we wanted to introduce like a independent defensive player, kind of make it different, make it interesting, because 4 team obviously you're gonna have a super stacked lineup. So if we throw in random positions like that, it makes it a lot more competitive. But yeah, this is a really fun time of year. So getting excited, super stoked. Football's back. I know we're all thrilled on that. College football's right around the corner. So we'll continue to cover that good stuff as well as any other entertainment items that we come across. But again, thank you guys so much for all you provide to the podcast. This was definitely a fun evening to have, spending it with you guys. And be sure, everybody listening, like, comment, subscribe, continue to stay tuned. We're definitely going to be consistent as always. We're already talking about the next weeks and, we plan ahead. So, we want to be consistent at this, but we're having a fun time doing it and we appreciate all you guys.
Yeah. And
Peace.
let us know if you guys want
Yeah.
to talk about anything. Later, guys.
Later.
Yes. Always looking for more stuff. Thank you guys. Later.